Kaya isang malaking awesome. And thank you so much guys. Maraming salamat sa mga patuloy na sumusuporta dito sa Oso the Chismoso. And ako nga pala si Oso Bear. I've been here since 2017 and I've been trying to share you guys my wins and losses dito sa cryptocurrency space. Thank you so much sa mga nandito. Yan, kilala Eggsy, kay Ninoy, kay Mang Pepe. Big shout sa inyo. Alright guys, simulan na agad natin to guys. Kung hindi pa kayo nakapag-like and share, please like and share and subscribe of course. Kung hindi pa kayo nakakapag-subscribe and of course, notif bell tayo. Okay? Yan, click niyo yun. Tapos, na-notify kayo agad kung nandito kayo agad sa ating, kung may live ako. Yan. So, paiba-iba yung live natin kasi nagbabasa-basa ako ng mga news. Kung nandito kayo guys, mag-comment na agad kayo. Okay? Yan, comment 3, ano ko to. Yan. Yan, pinin comment ko na. Okay, guys. So, yun nga, tulad nga ng sinabi ko guys, kung hindi nyo pa alam yung nangyayari sa cryptocurrency, okay? So, eto, this is seasonality. Nakabantay ako sa seasonality ng cryptocurrency ngayon. Okay, kung pupunta tayo sa... Hindi, sige. Dito na lang tayo muna. So far, no, we have a 2 really good months. Hindi pa naman sobrang parang masasabi natin, okay, ang ganda-ganda nga ng market natin, no? Okay. Pero galing na kasi tayo so far sa tatlong hindi magandang simula. Okay, so what's the, what's gonna be the supposedly outcome natin dyan, no? So, usually, tulad nga sinasabi ko sa inyo, we only have and supposedly have, okay, 369. Okay, pag sinabi ito yung 369, ito yung 369 or 30-60-90. Okay, so ito yung dito lang tayo nagbabase palagi. And yung pattern na to ay paulit-ulit lang. Hindi pa pwedeng laging lugmok ang Bitcoin, no? At hindi rin pa pwedeng laging up yung market, no? So, we have 7 viewers, no? Hindi kayo nagla-like. Please mag-like and share kayo, guys, kung nandito kayo sa ating live, okay? So, yun nga, tulad ng sinabi ko, guys. Meron kasi tayong tinitignan na seasonality chart. Okay? So, sa akin, okay, isang beses pa lang ako nakakita nung talagang nagtagal yung market, okay? Usually, okay, makikita muna natin na magtagal talaga yung market na nag-up bago tayo makakita ng sunod-sunod na devastating na negative negative years na sinasabi. Okay, kasi nakita natin siya sa 2017. Okay, huwag kayo titingin lang sa mga reds, no? Ibig sabihin nito sa buong 2017 natin, kung babalikan natin yung chart natin sa 2017, okay, dire-diretso lang tayo. Okay, dire-diretso lang tayo and this is mainly because, of the VC adoption. Okay? Kung institutional man to, this is because of the early institutional adoption. Okay? Pwede sabihin nyo, sige, baka si BlackRock nandyan na or yung mga early bankers. Pwede nyo sabihin, sige. Pero I really don't think yet. Okay, I really don't think yet. Okay, most likely this is just the VC, pati yung mga nasa may enterprise. So, yun, yung mga Tesla, yan, una-una sila dyan. Okay, skip natin yung ads para wala kayong ads. Okay. So, dito nagsimula yon. Pati ARK Investment, nandito na agad sila. So, yung iniisip yung mga ETFs, etc. Kala nyo, ngayon lang sila sumali, no? ARK Investment, matagal na sila nandito. Since 2016, nagbibigay na sila ng research about Bitcoin or the new money na sinasabi. Or the new digital money. Okay? So, maganda yung research nila doon. And so far, yung mga prediction nila nasusunod talaga. Okay? So, ngayon, let's talk about what's going on with the market. Okay, so we have the very simple explanation with the Iran-Israel war. Okay, so pinaputukan na nga ni US yung nuclear site, no, ng Iran. Okay? Para mapatigil sila, not because kampi tayo sa Israel, not because of that. It's because of the potentiality that Iran can do something. okay, that Iran can do something if, okay, mag-own sila ng nuclear. Okay, so nuclear facility. So yun yung iniiwasan kasi over the years, sinasabi nga nila na Iran cannot be trusted with such power. While Israel, okay, sila na merong nuclear for the longest years hindi nila ginagamit. Okay? So I really don't think like both I would say like mahirap na kasing simulan or magkaroon tayo ng idea na ay hindi wag na lang natin sila bigyan parehas ng Israel ng bomba. Okay? Kasi mahirap 'yan eh. Mahirap siyang sabihin na gano'n na lang. Kasi ngayon most likely katulad ng sinabi ni Donald Trump no, with the what's happening with the world right now, ang nangyayari is mas maganda may puwersa. Okay? Hindi mo man siya gagamitin, okay, you just keep it sheathed, kumbaga. So, yun yung gustong gawin ng US. Okay, is to really flex it. Pero it boils down to the point where sabihin natin talagang mapuwersa, no? Mapuwersa silang gamitin yung itong itong weapon na to, gagamitin nila. Parang yun yung sinasabi nila. So, ngayon guys, most June natin, matatapos na yung June eh. Okay, yung June natin, okay, usually, since ang ganda naman ng pumps natin dito, okay, we may be able to see here, itong June natin, let's see. Okay, yung June natin, sabihin natin, feeling ko, it will fall negative. Okay? So, sabihin natin, nag-open tayo dito. Okay, magpo-fall tayo ng -7 for June. Okay, supposedly, magko-close na dapat tayo higher, which is 111, di ba? Tapos, hindi naman nangyari. Okay. So, ako din, iniisip ko na aangat pa siya. Dito, nag-pivot tayo. Kung maaalala nyo, first and second week, nag-pivot agad tayo dito sa ating chart. Okay, iniisip ko talaga na bababa talaga tayo. Ang hindi nangyari is bumaba siya ng 97 or 97 sarado. Okay, kasi hanggang 98 lang tayo. So, 98,300 to 500 lang yung naging drop natin. Okay, I was really expecting na sana bumaba tayo ng 97. Iniiwasan ko tong black line natin na to eh, yung broken line na to. Iniiwasan ko to eh. Kasi pag na-touch to, okay, it will be a significant signal to the point where, okay, to the point where it could actually give us a buying confidence. Pero mukhang mas maaga yung naging buying confidence is because yung war natin, hindi siya nagtagal. Okay, when I say hindi siya nagtagal, napaulanan na natin yung nuclear site, sabihin natin, tapos nag-tweet na agad din si Donald Trump na, okay, the war is already ended. Parang gano'n. Na we have already attained peace after what happened. Parang gano'n. So why this is very important, guys? Why you need to, why you have to really know about this? Okay, so yung war between itong two big countries natin, or the big countries na lang, wag na sabi natin two big countries. Okay, these big countries usually scare investors. Okay, itong mga scared investors natin, ang ginagawa nila is mabilis pa sila mag-pull out ng money out of stocks and crypto, making the crypto prices drop. Okay, whether this is retail or sabihin natin, malalaking, investors, whales, etc. Really depends, okay? Itong mga events na ganito, okay, this pushes this pushes up the prices for things like yung mga safe assets na sinasabi nila. So like gold, some of it are US dollar kasi ngayon pinapakita na naman natin na si US dollar yung pinakamalakas sa buong mundo na country in terms of defense. So, yan nga, pinakita, nag-flex na naman tayo, nag-flex si Donald Trump para lang ma-boost din natin yung bonds ng US dollar. Okay? So, these are the reason why. Okay? These are the reason why, okay, ba't natin nasasabi na malakas si US dollar. Okay? So, ngayon, hindi na natin sasabihin na if the fight gets worse, okay, ito, importante to, at kumalat, okay, it would hit the whole world economy. Hindi lang basta sa US, hindi lang basta sa Iran, hindi lang basta sa ganito, etc., etc. Okay? So, basically, okay, yung, ayan, so, sabi dito, such as through higher oil prices, okay, if supply is disrupted. So, ibig sabihin nun, kung ito nga yung mangyari, okay, puputok yung price natin for oil. Okay? So, aangat yung prices natin for oil. So, why didn't the market really crash this time? Okay? Kasi supposedly black swan event na to, 'di ba? Na-mitigate yung naging problema. Okay? So, what happens is, okay? So, what happens is uh the investors have been watching this area for a while. Okay, yung news kasi natin is parang binabantayan na siya. Hindi siya yung something na nakaagulat katulad ng COVID-19, in-announce, tapos boom, biglang bumagsak yung market. Okay, housing crash, ganun din yung nangyari. Walang anticipation, hindi ina-anticipate for the longest time. Ang nangyari is bumagsak siya na sobra nung nag-manifest na siya. Nung nakita na talaga yung calculation or kumbaga yung interest natin nakita, yung number of defaults pumutok na. Okay, so parang gano'n. So kumbaga sa Jenga, 'di ba? Hindi mo ina-anticipate na yung isang piece na yun yung magko-collapse ng lahat. Okay, kasi confident ka na yun yung isang piece na pwede mo pang gawing band-aid solution para pataasin. Okay, pataasin pa yung prices. Sabihin natin, or yung Jenga. Okay, tapos biglang paghugot mo, okay, is bumagsak siya. So, ngayon, itong big monies involved, okay, sabihin natin, large funds and ETFs, exchanges traded funds, matagal ko na sinasabi sa inyo na ito yung isa sa mga magiging caution natin. When I say caution, ibig sabihin, ito yung pag nag-drop yung market, makakita tayo ng shoot up sa prices. Why? Because OTC is also included. ETFs has a lot of controls to different assets. Sabihin natin si IBIT, sabihin natin si ARK Investments or si FBIT or si Fidelity BTC. They will gradually get into cryptocurrency via fiat or probably will siphon a lot of stable coins. Okay? So, ibig sabihin nito guys, okay? Etong mga ganitong institutions, okay, they don't just like get in there, okay, but they always play around with the money through different strategies. Okay, so ano yung ibig sabihin nun? Okay, marami kasing mga different strategies. So, ang in-reveal ko sa inyo last time is yung sa OTC deal. Na yung akala nyo na yung mga times na sinasabi nila na okay, bumibili na si MicroStrategy, sabihin natin. Okay? Ang nangyayari is matagal na sila bumili. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, a month ago pa sila bumili nung nagkakaroon ng fear sa market. Okay, whether there is a confirmation or not, they are the market maker na tinatawag. They always make the market. They always create a lot of support on specific levels. Okay, so yun yung tinatarget nating level nung last time. Okay, which is this one, which is this 88K. Sabihin natin, yan yung magiging major support natin. If the market continues to capitulate or if the market continues to decides to like keep on going down. Okay. However, hindi nga siya tayo dumikit sa 96,800 man lang or 96,400 sabihin natin. Yun yung gusto ko sana in order for us to really boost the market to go higher. Ang nangyari is hindi. Okay. So, ngayon, ang nangyayari sa atin ngayon is napapaaga yung angat natin, which is not really good. Okay. It is not really good to the point where the volume is keep on dropping down even though there is a maximum buy. Okay, these are the early speculators that the market is going to hold these specific prices. Okay, so what happens is, okay, sabihin natin, maging pagkain to sa mga whales, okay, they will maximize this level. Pwede tayo mag-sideways dyan ng ilang beses bago natin masabi na, okay, doon natin makikita na mag-fail yung pinaka-volume or yung money supply natin dito. Okay, so yun. So, ito yun. Guys, papakita ko sa inyo yung linya na to. Okay, itong blue line na 'to, 'pag 'to pumailalim, okay, imbes na mag-reject siya to go lower than this blue highlighted line, what happens is, okay, sabihin natin dumiretso siya dito. Okay, malaki na yung chances na bumagsak muna yung ating volume. Okay, which is ganun yung nangyayari dito. Pero kung dito pa lang tumiklop na siya, dito pa lang. Okay, dito din yung chances natin nung sinabi ko sa May, naaangat tayo. Okay, so ito yung May level, naaangat tayo, hindi ako natakot. Okay, which is ang nangyari is hindi naging sufficient yung volume natin kaya nag-call for bear even though the prices is trying to really get to the next high level. Okay, which is kahit si Emperor BTC nadali dito, okay, supposedly dapat dito pa lang umangat na tayo pero because of manipulation, okay, of Germany, okay, bumagsak tayo, no? So, yan. Okay. So, ngayon, dito tayo. Okay. So, June has not been so good, no? June, negative. Okay, good, a little bit, but this is just a retracement to the previous high, 2023. And we were on a bear market during 2023. Okay, ang bull market natin dito, okay, this is like just a start of like sideways, etc. And may mga malalaking drop pa din. Okay, mula dito, goods. So, biglang bumagsak, diba? So, bumagsak siya slowly. So, retrace, bumagsak ng todo. Okay, then September was the best buying opportunity. Then, best buying opportunity was October. So, yan. Okay, so ngayon, just to let you guys know, okay? Just to let you guys know, okay, of what is really happening. So, sabihin natin, what they are saying, President Trump displayed the peace through strength. Okay, ito yung sinasabi ko sa inyo kanina. Okay, so is this bullish or bearish? Itong nangyayari sa market natin, short term, this is actually going to be a bit of both. Okay, yung wire news natin caused prices to really drop for a few hours or day, or actually a day. Okay, so bearish yun. So, but if the prices quickly bounces back, which is yun nga medyo nakikita natin, okay, it can spark a little bit of uncertainty. Na ano ba to? Okay na ba to? Okay, so nakabalik na agad tayo sa above ng 100, which is a very strong bounce na sinasabi nila from 98, biglang tumalon agad ng 101. Parang gusto natin pasukin yung 102. So the question is, will it really go higher? Okay, so 101 or 100K is not that super significant because we have a moving average here. For us to really make the bulls be confident, it needs to lock in above 105 or 100 for 800 man lang. Okay? So long term, if the war stays continued, sabihin natin magstay ito dito, okay, the market could really even go further more bullish if things don't get worse and if the central bank starts cutting interest rates in the middle of the war, okay, which is very very fundamentally hard to explain, but it really works, which is back in Cold War or back in multiple wars na nakikita natin na hindi sobrang war, sabihin natin 9/11, no? Or sabihin natin Saddam Hussein, or sabihin natin nung nagiging importante masyado yung oil at yung oil prices natin medyo nagiging super influential sa magiging geopolitical outcome ng mga wars, kumbaga. So, ito yung but ko. Okay, so if yung conflict natin mag-spread siya, no? Tapos closest shipping lanes, sabihin natin yung China will not be able to, tapos babalik na ulit yung sanction natin with the China, di ba? Kasi 90 days palugid lang naman sila or 60 days hata. I'm not really sure. Okay, sabihin natin mag-close ngayon lanes or sabihin natin or drugs in the US, sabihin natin madala yung war sa US or mga NATO countries, sabihin natin, expect that a much bigger or long-lasting drop, bearishness can happen. But according to the not Wyckoff, with the, sorry, what this, nalimutan ko. Tung ano natin, yung ating Benner chart, yes. The Benner chart actually gave us a very good clue, which is on the 2026 will be the start of sign, which is Q4 ng 2026, will be the start of the sign na magkakaroon tayo ng bearish drop. Okay, but according to Benner, 2026 Q1, 2, and 3 will be super bullish to the point where, okay, it will be a super relief. Okay, probably, okay, for us to really have this or confirm this, sabihin natin magkaroon talaga na sobrang ganda yung Benner chart natin, or sabihin natin sobrang ganda yung market natin, it really needs to drop first. Okay, what could be the potential really good drop para masabi natin na magkakaroon tayo ng super bull run? Siguro, if we can reset the UPNL, okay, the unrealized profit and losses natin, sabihin natin dito, para makasakay ulit yung mga new money, okay, sabihin natin, or magkaroon ulit ng bullishness yung mga institution, magbigay ulit sila ng mga news, etc. Yan, thank you for the updates. Yan, thank you so much kay Tres. Big shoutouts kay Kulot. Okay. Big shoutouts kay RJ Production yan. So, yun nga, tulad ng sinabi ko, guys. Okay, it's either we sideways at higher. Okay, magtagal tayo dyan. Tapos, January 2026 na tayo umangat. Okay, tapos yung isa naman is mag-drop na tayo by September, October. Tsaka tayo magkakaroon ng relief. Okay? So, maganda to kasi matatakot sila sa double top. Okay? So, kung yun nga yung mangyari. Okay? So, magkaroon tayo ng double top kunyari. Okay? Tapos doon tayo makakita ng magandang high na sobrang high. Kumbaga. So, it's either 180 or 200 or 193-ish, okay? Kung susundin natin yung Fibonacci's natin. Yan, big shoutouts kay Polygon pati kay Luis. Okay. So, o nga pala, may news tayo sa Metaplanet, okay? So, Metaplanet Inc. is a Japanese publicly listed company. Okay? So, bumili siya ng Bitcoin. Nevertheless, kung ano yung nangyayari sa geopolitical war, okay, I think this is their hedge against it. Okay, so simple explanation lang natin dito is bumili sila ng 1,111 more Bitcoins, bringing the total of 11,111 Bitcoin, and now it's about worth of 1.12 billion, okay, US dollars, not yen. Okay, so the company now owns, okay, more than Bitcoin than the Coinbase, even more versus dun sa naging news ko nung last time. Kasi nung last time, di ba, sinabi ko na yan, dineclare ko na sa inyo na mas mataas na yung hawak nila versus kay Coinbase. Okay, if you have Metaplanet stock, sabihin natin you can buy it, okay, then that's really good. Kasi I really believe that Bitcoin is not just like gonna be your financial system tomorrow or sa susunod, but this is more of like where money will not be so important already in the future. Okay, where security and cybersecurity will be something that is very important in the future. Kasi if we have AI, okay, we need to really devalue the worth of money. Okay, wherein we really have to push parang intelligence, no? Parang ganun yung nakikita ko in the future. Kung sakaling, no? Kung sakaling talagang why we are going to choose Bitcoin as a new, monetary system or financial system, sabihin natin, or cryptocurrency as well. Okay, but yung perspective kasi ng cryptocurrency, medyo malayo pa yun, no? Na para masabi natin na, okay, it's gonna be the new money, etc. Na para masabi natin na buong mundo ito gagamitin, tapos tatalikod sa US dollar or yung mga local currencies natin, no? Okay, so but yeah, their last purchase was during the slight market dip na nangyari. But at the price, just below the day's average, sabihin natin, nakabili sila. So, yun yung nakikita ko. And this is very evident too that they cannot lie about is because they are a public company, which is gonna be a lot of SEC case kung sakaling hindi totoo yung sinasabi yung bumili sila or nagbenta sila or whatever. Okay, but yeah. So this is a very very bullish news, but not as bullish where hinalo natin kasi siya sa mga naging negative news, no? So, give it to Trump pa din na siya yung nakapigil na magtuloy-tuloy yung ano. Kasi kung ang naging statement niya after nung binomba nila is, um, sabihin natin, biglang sabi niya, mag-prepare yung buong US for a potential na dadalhin yung gera sa loob ng US continent, sabi natin, or ng America continent, sabi natin. Okay, baka ganun yung mangyari. Eh di malaking problema yon. Okay, kasi damay Canada, damay yung Mexico. So basically, everything in that area. Kasi papasabugin, sabihin natin, pasabugin. Wag naman sana, no? Pero sinasabi ko lang, pasabugin yung buong east side ng US. Malaking issue sa buong mundo yon, to the point where it will really crush the whole economy too. Okay, so now, since we're not talking about that anymore, what we're talking about here is the bearishness. Okay, what is the bearishness potential of this market news? Okay, so how we would perceive it, okay, if the strategy fails and the market sentiment changes, sabihin natin magbago siya, okay, ang mangyari is, it will lead to a sharp drop for both BTC and Metaplanet stock. Okay, which I don't think that Metaplanet's plan is to really devalue their stock. There is no reason for them to really push this kind of narrative. Okay, especially if they are promoting to really improve the economy, no, ng Japan alone, and to be the bystander na tinatawag, na isa sa mga companies na nag-start, okay, to really accumulate and to pursue a mission to buy a lot of Bitcoin, which is 210,000 Bitcoin na target. Okay? So, ngayon, yeah. Does this really affect the market, no? Yan yung mga magandang tanong. Okay? So, immediate effect, hindi masyado, I would say. Pero this is guaranteed a long-term effect kasi nakita rin naman na natin yan sa MicroStrategy since 2018 to 2020 to 2021. Kitang-kita natin, no, na nung nagsisimula pa lang siya, sabi natin, and outbroad, tapos nagte-trending siya sa Twitter, etc. or x.com. Ang nangyari is, hindi pa siya masyado maugong. Okay, si Tesla yung maugong nun kasi nag-start talaga siya sa 2018. Si Donald Trump, si Elon Musk. Okay, so but the big risk is if yung leverage in the system, sabihin natin borrowing to buy Bitcoin, increases too much, which is gayahin nila si MicroStrategy without the assurance, or like sabihin natin wala silang contingency plan, would say. Okay, it will lead to instability. Okay, if things really go wrong. Okay, sabihin natin magkasabay-sabay yung problem. Sabihin natin, mapilitan sila magbenta. Okay, because their stock is going down. Okay, they could probably stop further down or decrease of value ng kanilang holdings for Bitcoin, probably just to mitigate the losses kung sakali din maging reward, okay, yung magiging reward system, or how they will reward the people who buy their stock, okay, in Japan, would be, sabihin natin, ang hirap i-explain kasi sa MicroStrategy, di ba, parang ang pinopropose nila is bibigyan nila ng so much control or so much incentives yung bibili ng MicroStrategies as MicroStrategies buys more Bitcoin, parang ganon. So, hindi ko lang alam sa Metaplanet, pero how I understand it is, okay, if sabihin natin magkaroon nga sila ng ganong crazy idea, it could lead to a very, okay, and it could go wrong, okay? It can grow wrong and it could go wrong at the same time. Okay. So simplest term, kung may explain sa inyo, okay, so si Metaplanet is betting big on Bitcoin, definitely. Okay, that's very obvious. Okay, and better than almost anyone, okay, na nasa Japan. Okay? So this is very strong vote of confidence which is very bullish tulad nga ng sinabi ko, pero something can go wrong. Okay, sabihin natin magkaroon ng giyera sa Okinawa kasi nga malapit yun sa China. Okay, anything can happen. Okay, and I'm not saying and I'm not wishing. I'm just letting you know. Okay, what are the possibilities? At pag nangyari yan, so basically, just Japan yung bumabagsak. Okay, economy lang ng Japan. Okay, is because hindi naman sobrang dominant ng yen sa buong mundo. Okay? So, ngayon, ang mangyayari is kailangan mag-mitigate ng losses or sabihin natin, walang gustong mag-buy the dip ng Metaplanet. They have to really let go of Bitcoin in order for them to really buy their own stock or at least to slow down the decrease. Okay? So, kung maging malinaw yung magiging buyback nila for Bitcoin, then probably it will not really affect so much. Okay? Kung ganun yung magiging strategy. Okay, so now, okay, let's talk about, okay, actually wala naman tong kwenta para sa akin. Okay, kasi tulad nga sinabi ko sa inyo, with the stablecoin, this is a prediction, this is a prediction na naman na nangyari. Okay, so sinabi ko na to sa inyo guys, na susunod yung mga Asian countries about getting into stablecoin. So, ang basic root prediction ko kung bakit ko na-predict to is because sabihin natin na digital banks, di ba? Sa Japan kasi ang dami ng digital bank. So, doon ko din naisip na, okay, basically, ganun lang din naman. Kung ang digital bank, sabihin natin, okay, sa cryptocurrency, stablecoin yun. Okay? So, hindi malabo na yung mga malalakas na country. Sabihin natin na Singapore, di ba? Singapore, may mga magagandang wealth funds, no, na nakaupo lang, na hindi nag-accumulate. Malaki yung potential na magpahiram sila ng pera through stable coins, 'di ba? Tapos i-sure lang nila kung regulated, no. Hanapin lang nila sa Mika kung regulated, USDC, 'di ba? Tapos sabihin natin, yun nga, may isa pang stablecoin na or country na nagta-target ng pag-improve ng kanilang stablecoin by putting it into Luxembourg. Parang gano'n. So, yeah. Yun yung nakikita ko. Okay, yun yung nakikita ko. But the Hong Kong is using renminbi, which is yuan, no? So, yun yung ano nila. So, it's a huge global finance center too. And they're handling 80% of all offshore Chinese yuan. So, ano nun? So, sabihin natin kahit maglagay sila ng 50%, sabihin na 30%, sabihin natin, para lang sa greater return. Okay? Kung kaya naman nila maging the bank of themselves without creating a lot of like, kumbaga shortcut, wala nang gawa-gawa na ng wealth fund. Okay, dire-diretso na to, papunta sa stablecoin since sabihin natin fully regulated, kunyari lang, ang mangyari is they will be the first ones to really take advantage of the potential na sinasabi ko sa inyo na yung future natin is all about stable coins. Okay, and this is gonna be the basic money grab, kumbaga, or faucet ng pera para sa yield farm, no? So, yan. Okay, so ngayon, I wanna share you guys, okay, the last, natin dito. Okay, so, atong, Bitcoin holds key support. Oil disappoints doomers as Brent and WTI erase early price gains. Okay. First time ko maka-attend sa live mo, puro replay na papanood ko. Bakit wala yata yung meditation sound mo ngayon? Hindi. Ayaw nila eh. Ayaw nila yan eh. Kaya nauutal ako ngayon, nawawala yung thoughts ko. Pero okay lang. Never mind. It's okay. So, yun nga. Tulad ng sinabi ko guys. Okay? So, etong news na to, okay? So, BTC remains above 101K. Yun lang yung pinaka-importante. But we really need to go above 105K at least for us to really say that this is a bullish, that was a bullish retrace na akala natin na it's gonna like do a double top. Yan yung problema sa mga walang masyadong alam sana. It's not an attack. What I'm saying is, you cannot say that this is a double top, okay? By just saying that it is a double top. And if it is a double top on this one, okay, sabihin natin ito double top to, okay, which is valid, sabihin natin kasi nandito na tayo sa neckline. Okay, sumundot na siya and probably we're just retracing the neckline. Okay, okay, so what happens is we just have to really get the top papunta dito. So yun yung magiging prices na, yun yung magiging potential length ng drop natin mula doon sa neckline. Okay, which is ito. Okay, so which is baka nga mangyari pa yung 96K natin or 97 to 96K prediction natin. Kasi bitin tayo eh. Hindi ako man lang na-trigger sa 97, 700 or 800. Okay, kasi nag-sit above siya sa 97,300. Okay, so nagiging bitter ako masyado. So malay nyo, mag-pivot ang mangyari. Mag-pivot ako ng sobra, tapos ang mangyari is bumagsak na siya. So baka yun yung nagiging ano. Pero kasi we're just looking at the we're just looking at the money flow here. Okay, so yung money flow natin is just saying as the same story. Okay, ayoko magbago masyado yan. So big shoutouts kay Damon Ligaw. Okay, kung hindi man ma-hit, hindi yun dahilan agad para mag-change ng ano or mag-pivot. Okay, so malaking chances pa rin natin na maging pambulag yung June papuntang July. Tapos pagpasok ng July, okay, mag 120 tayo, mag-slide down tayo papuntang 110. Pwede mangyari yan, guys. Okay, which is buong July, August, and September will be really negative or probably even the first week of October, which is yun naman yung nangyayari. Hindi maganda yung first week natin. Okay, so for Ethereum, guys, let's go with our Ethereum. Okay, for Ethereum, okay, nagkaroon tayo ng slight slip down pababa after nung nangyari yun. So this is very Bitcoin influenced price move, okay, or price action. Okay, it traded in 2,200 and 2,274. Okay, so this I gave you this kind of prediction already. The back into my document. Kahit sumundot tayo pataas ng 2,800. Okay, we've been predicting that the market is already topping at this level, which is because of the moving average, no? So yung prediction natin, bumagsak na rin siya. Okay, so ibig sabihin tama tayo. So tama tayo sa prediction pero not quite so. Okay, so tamang-tama lang yung naging dip natin dito. Marami nagsasabi hindi yan babagsak sa 200. No? So bumagsak nga siya actually. Doon tayo nagbase. Okay, because of the what you call this fair value gap here. Okay, so marami nagsasabi na fair value gap right here, but we need to take advantage of this one too as a new buying opportunity from the previous 2,800, no? So, yeah. Okay, so that is why we have this kind of prediction. Yeah, may ganyan din tayong support wall. Okay, so ngayon, ano mangyayari? Okay, so, let's see. Okay, kung matutupad pa rin to, okay, malaki yung chances na pwede. Okay, pero it will be super mabango sa mga investors, lalo na yung mga builders na bumagsak tayo dito sa 1,800, especially that Ethereum has a really good updates ngayong dadating na bull run, okay, o kaya sa 2026. Okay, let's talk about XRP, guys. Okay, maganda rin yung sa XRP natin na price action after what happened. Okay. Okay, yan. So, sa XRP natin, seasonality natin, di maganda, no? Negative, negative, positive, negative. So, malaking chances natin na magkaroon muna tayo ng close negative, tapos positive. Okay? So, ganun yung mangyayari dito. Okay, so, nakikita nyo naman, no? Consistently, June is not really good. Pero, negative, 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 positive, 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 positive. Malaking chances natin mag-positive tayo dito. Not because of this one, but rather because of this buong year count, okay? Pero yun nga, tulad ng sinasabi ko sa inyo, for fronting talaga ang XRP, no? So makikita nyo nag-forefront na agad siya. Yung susunod natin, malaking chances na this is gonna be super negative. Okay, itong June natin. Okay, kasi nandito tayo ng May, June. Okay, kung titingnan natin, sige, kung magkano yung June na yan. Wala dito. Okay, that's 19%. Okay, so malaki yung chance na we're trying to get close at least man lang dito sa moving average ito before we can really go up. Okay. Pero I really don't think so it's gonna happen. Why? It's because of the stablecoin narrative. Okay. So, ang ganda kasi ng strategy ng XRP na tinatawag nilang cash flow strategy na umiikot-ikot lang yung pera. Nakala nyo is yung XRP natin is like showing weakness in the market. Pero ang nangyayari is it's being well addressed yung nagiging price ni XRP. Unless yung buong kulto is mag-sell, okay, which is gonna be really bad for them in the long term. So, maganda dyan is not to really move with the XRP. Okay, but I'm still betting on the price of at least $1.2 or $1.3 rather. Okay, which is this previous high. Okay? Or, ito na yung pinaka-low natin na gusto ko is yung 1.7. Okay, kasi na dikitan na natin yan. So, ano yung potential na magiging higher ng 1.7 is siguro 1.85, which is yun na nga, dumidikit na rin tayo dyan. So, kung sabihin natin A, B, C, okay, and nag-high na siya. So, probably we won't get the letter D and E. Okay, so skip tayo sa XLM guys. Okay, so yung USDT naman natin, yung USDT dominance. Pag tumataas yung dominance natin, it's not really good, di ba? Sinabi ko naman yan sa inyo, and this is like more likely a shortcut explanation of how altcoins work. Okay, so both USDC and USDT natin remained a very stable $1. Wala tayong depegging na nangyari. This is very important for you guys to know as well, because depegging happens when there is a real capitulation in the market. Sabihin natin, banking problem, sabihin natin yan, tariff war. We're seeing slight depegging. Tapos sabihin natin na crypto scams, okay? Sabihin natin major blockchain network bumagsak. Okay, maganda 'yan. Okay, ganun 'yung nangyayari. Okay? Yun 'yung nangyayari sa mga ganong instance. Nagkakaroon na tayo ng depegging. Okay. So let's talk about the hype token. Okay, so which is my favorite, and this is one of my best DEX asset na tingin ko na will be really sufficient. No, so last time we predicted a short at 39. Okay, sabi ko babalik tayo sa 32 or 33. Okay, so yun na, bumalik na tayo. Sumobra pa ng 30 or 31 rather. So, hindi ko alam kung ano mangyayari from there, but I will reassess, okay? So, according to our flow, okay, it's not really going well. Okay, kasi bumabagsak na po yung ating indicator here, okay, which is our money flow. Pero yung ating dito, nakaangat pa rin siya. So, ano ibig sabihin nun? Okay, we're just waiting for a really bad situation. Okay, and when it does, okay, it will really creep down. Okay, so yun yung medyo mahirap lang gawin, is magbenta when the signal is very evident. Okay, so but what I can see, okay, we are on that situation already. Okay, so and also naman we've been having a very good run pa rin kay hype. Okay, and also I think ginagamit nila to for hedging, no? So ang ganda lang nung naging pump natin sa April, May, June. So, nag-manifest talaga siya. So seeing hyper liquid to $300 or at least 150 is not very impossible, specifically kasi ang ganda nung reward nila or airdrops nila, no, na ginagawa with the hype. So this is my general sentiment for you guys and psychological assessment for this market na nangyayari, no? So yung crypto sentiment is very cautious. Okay, yun yung sinasabi ko sa inyo nung nandoon tayo before we even crash to 103K or 101 to 98. I've been telling you kahit sa Discord na sinasabi ko na yung market sentiment natin is very cautious, with many traders are very wary of the further downside. Mainly it's because of the war, probably, I don't know. Okay, but it's just that there is no interest. Okay, you have to be really sensitive in this one. Okay, where yung market natin is not, they're not really, they're not really interested to crypto. Okay, and you will just hear people like saying, "Oh, diamond hands, hold lang kayo, hold lang kayo." Okay, I give you the option, guys, to really take your profits around here. Okay, and even okay when our crypto prices are at the 14,000, which is our total here. Okay, sinabi ko nag 14,000 tayo. Okay, eto dito. Nag 14K tayo dito. Yan. Nag 14,400 tayo nung May. Tapos June, July, August, September. June, bumagsak tayo ng 12,500. Okay. Dito na yung nagbabala na ako sa inyo. Kasi it's not really going higher. And I don't see a lot of other assets talaga na nagpa-perform. Okay. So, ngayon, okay, we should be more leaning towards doon sa magiging commodities. Okay, so yung oil prices natin, there has been a reversal that happened, okay? Reflected a risk-off mood in global markets, okay? So, this has a contrast with the Bitcoin's comparative resilience. Okay, so ito na yung nakikita natin na parang no one really cares about oil already. Okay, pag natatapos yung war, tapos na rin yung oil. So, pero yung Bitcoin is not stopping, no? So, magkakaroon man tayo ng hit sa Bitcoin, long-term wise for Bitcoin, okay, still infant kung tutuusin. Kasi wala naman tayong full and clear regulation about Bitcoin. And why would we actually go buy a lot of Bitcoin and at least 10% of our M2 supply para ipasok sa sa Bitcoin. So something like that. Okay. So conviction versus hype, okay? So there's a discernible, ewan ko kung word 'yun, pero discernible shift from jumping into mga hype tokens. Okay, hindi ko sinasabi yung hype token itself or coin, okay? Sabi ko yung mga sinasabi-sabi kuro-kuro ng mga iba-ibang influencers na bayad para lang sabihin tong mga token na to. Okay? So, you need to really search and learn how to read fundamentally strong projects, okay? So, para masabi natin strong, bakit natin nasasabi? So, ako binigyan ko kayo ng research sa hype, okay? And why I think hype is really good, or even Aave is really good back when they are not this super high. Okay, so si hype natin, binigay ko siya sa inyo at the earliest price of 12. And also, nung nag-dump siya to $12, bumili ako. Biglang bumagsak pa sa $9. Pero ngayon, at least, okay na siya. Last call ko is $21. Tapos ngayon, nandito pa rin tayo sa $30 to $31 to $32. Okay? So, yeah, before we end, ang key takeaways ko dito, guys, is okay, yung overall crypto market is very in a state of cautiousness. Okay, hindi pa naman kasi talaga tapos yung gera eh. Hindi pa naman natin masasabing tapos na talaga. Tapos ang daming pending na babalik na mga shit na na pwedeng mangyari sa China war natin, no? So, yung tariff wars natin, so babalik yon. Hindi natin alam kung anong magiging decision ni Xi Jinping about the sanction. So, kasi babalik na siya eh. So, sabihin natin, by the end of July, bumalik yun. Okay. So, that confirms that the July, August, September is not gonna be really good. Okay. But yeah, with the Bitcoin stability, okay, uh, providing a lot of comfort sa gitna ng itong ang broader uncertainty na nangyayari. Okay, meron pa rin tayong mga mixed signals na nangyayari, katulad yung pagbili, kaliwat kanan, 'di ba? Even though that there are wars, etc. 'Di ba? Tapos biglang pipigilan ni Donald Trump yung pinaka-dump. Kung hindi niya ginawa 'yan, siguro malaking chances na talagang dudus-dus pa tayo or dudot-dot pa yung S&P natin. Pero we really had a S&P drop na rin kasi sa S&P natin. Okay, so I really don't think that the S&P will do the same, thing here. Okay, so but the previous time that we did that, wala na tayong nangyari kundi umangat ng umangat. Okay, we already had the mini black swan event for the S&P. Okay, that's it. Tapos na yun. Okay, and when we do, kita nyo naman to, sobrang baba na itong volume natin dito, pati ng money flow natin. Okay, eto 2 beses pa. So, bakit di kayo magiging confident? Okay. Okay, ang ganda ng balik-bili ko dito ng mga stocks. So, binigyan ko rin kayo ng mga stocks dati and yun pa rin yung hawak ko ngayon. So, cybersecurity, stablecoin stocks, okay, which is Circle, pati Coin, which is Coinbase. Ano pa ba? Mga ETFs, of course. Pero, meron din akong China stocks pa din. Mga binitawan ko is Bilibili. Okay? Pero, yeah, yun. So, may Cisco pa ako, Cisco asset. So, yun. Isa yun sa mga hawak ko. Pero, it's up to you guys pa rin. Okay? In the end of the day, in the end of this video, okay, nasa sa inyo pa rin yung decision. Okay? Sentiment is very split. Okay? Hindi ako sa inyo na, tama ako, sabi ko sa inyo, etc. No. Okay, there is a split between buying the dip or, okay, potentially future gains could be wiped out or a really good retrace. Kahit sa S&P, pwede siya mag-retrace muna to 5,600 man lang. Okay? Or maglaro siya sa pagitan ng 5,900 to 5,700, which is really reasonable. Sorry, nasinok ako. Okay? So, yeah, if the whole world or the geopolitical war, tapos magkaroon ng easing si China, sabi niya, okay, sige, payag na kami. We were able to find a middle ground. Okay, then, tanggalin niyo na yung sanctions sa amin permanently. Basta susunod kami sa ganitong rules. So, parang ganun. So, anyways, yun lang guys. Wala na akong chichismis sa inyo. Pero chismis lang ang lahat ng yun. Kailangan nyo pa rin aralin, planuhin, at kilusan. Nang sa gayon, ang lahat ng to ay ating makamtan. At syempre, stay awesome. Goodbye guys. Thank you so much again. And God be the glory. And big shout out sa inyong lahat. And please hit the replay. Upload ko na to. Thank you so much again. And have a great night. Sabi nga pala, chismoso ng crypto since 2017 bull run and have been documenting my journey since 2021 at may bagong mission na gawing 100k ang 10k ng may buong puso at kadwa.